Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
Conditions of modern life are such that cars sooner or later have to be changed. There is a need to know how to sell a car with maximum profit and without unnecessary problems in the future. The task is not easy, but quite solvable. The old car can be handed over under the recycling program, and the car dealership will provide you with a new one under the credit program. Any car can be sold independently at the auto market. You can file an ad on the internet and wait for buyers at home. In any chosen option, it is necessary not only to prepare the documents correctly, but also to familiarize yourself with the peculiarities of the sale of movable property and only then make a contract of sale. Do not forget about the post-sale control of the transaction, so that in the future do not pay taxes and fines for the buyer. Pre-sale preparation. Technical preparation of the car for presentation to buyers is an important stage. The question always arises as to what repairs have been carried out. It is not worth hiding technical defects and the results of previous accidents. Registration of the deal on the purchase of the car will be more successful if you immediately tell about the features of the previous operation. The opportunity to obtain detailed information provides and the official site of the traffic police. In the database on the license plate number you can find all the documents on the car. According to the law, hidden significant defects will allow the buyer to expose the seller to significant penalties for unreliable information. Cleaning of the interior and body should be done just before the showing so that the buyer can see the defects, if any, or that there are none. Underhood space should be clean, but it is worth washing it a few days before the sale, so that it was seen that the technical fluids do not leak. It is necessary to check in advance the legibility of signs on the number units. This will avoid unnecessary problems when they are checked by the MREO GIBD. Peculiarities of technical expertise. The buyer will carefully check not only the car, but also all the documents for it. It is necessary to prepare the points, the technical inspection coupon, the MTPL policy. The availability of a casco policy and the date of the previous technical inspection will affect the sale price. A valid diagnostic card will allow the buyer to quickly issue a MTPL policy and put the car on the re-registration without violating the terms. According to the rules, the registration procedure should not exceed 10 days. If the inspection was carried out a long time ago, it is desirable to go to a car service to carry out a complete revision and get a certificate of technical expertise. Detected defects are better to eliminate at once. Self-repair of the car without certain skills is not worth it. If the buyer has a lack of confidence in the act of expertise, then he must pay for a second inspection himself. At the stage of pre-sale preparation, the availability of free boxes in the points is checked. In the absence of such, the buyer will have to execute a new points. It is also necessary to decide which license plates to install. Tax determination. You cannot sell a car without finding out what receipts you will later receive from the tax inspectorate. After the inspector has accepted the documents from the buyer, he must inform the tax inspectorate of the passport details of the parties to the transaction and the new registration details of the car. The buyer will be charged transportation tax from the date of registration in the traffic police. The seller from this after-date transport tax does not pay, but is obliged to pay next year's car sales tax. The procedure for charging sales tax is detailed in the tax code of the Russian Federation. Its amount can be calculated independently, Article 224. There are conditions that allow you to reduce the amount of tax, Art. 220. Certificates that allow you to reduce the tax should be issued about 1 month before the transaction. The term of their issuance is 30 days. The maximum tax under the new rules of the Federal Tax Service may be 35% of the value of the vehicle. Peculiarities of the transaction. The buyer can offer to sell the car by presenting a power of attorney for sale or a general power of attorney with the possibility of subsequent registration on the bearer. When buying movable property under contract, the law allows the use of powers of attorney, but additional checks are required. Experienced lawyers recommend that the seller get to know the person who issued the power of attorney and check his personal documents. The quality of the passport and its expiration date are checked. In addition, the real place of residence and the address indicated in the passport must coincide. The result is positive, you can agree. It should be borne in mind that this method is sometimes used by fraudsters. Immediately after purchase, the car is not put on the register, and resell it under the same power of attorney. Then all fines for traffic violations will come to the address of the former owner. What sanctions will follow, if there is an accident or car theft, it is better not to imagine. To deregister or not. The rules for the purchase of movable property are determined by federal laws and specified at the local level. The simplest variant of the transaction is when the buyer and seller are in the same region of Russia. The best option is to sell the car without removing it from the registration, but it is possible to remove it. Under the preliminary agreement from the buyer receives a deposit and writes a receipt of money. The amount of the deposit is set small, slightly exceeding the cost of restoring the registration. If the buyer changes his mind, the deposit is not returned. Re-registration is not necessary if there are documents confirming that the car is handed over for utilization. The procedure becomes more complicated if you sell a vehicle bought abroad and with transit numbers. Their validity period is 20 days. In addition to the standard payment of state services, you may have to buy a new MTPL policy. You need new state registration plates of the Russian Federation. When the place of purchase and sale are in different regions of the country, according to the rules in force in 2016, it is allowed to register the purchase in any department of the traffic police. Determining the price. Estimate the real value of the car. This requires additional information, which is easily and simply obtained from the Internet. Gathering preliminary information will allow you to set a real price for the car and sell it faster. There are many popular sites on the Internet where you can find a car with similar characteristics. It is desirable for several weeks to check which of them are bought, and which are not for sale. It is worth considering the condition of the TC. Most likely, the price of the latter is overpriced. Consequently, such a price in the contract of sale cannot be put. The price is determined, an announcement is submitted to several popular sites. For an additional fee, the ad will be placed in the top 10. Registration of the transaction. The buyer is identified, the price and technical condition of the car suits him, a preliminary, verbal contract is concluded. The terms and conditions for the transfer of license plates are determined. Under the new rules, the seller has the right not to transfer them to the buyer, but later to put them on his new car. For this purpose, it is necessary to write an application in advance, to deposit the numbers in the traffic police, 180 days. A preferred option for the seller to transfer the money is established. In most large departments of the traffic police have branches of Sberbank. Payment through the bank is a more reliable option than receiving cash from the buyer. Then you can fill out the contract of sale. The standard form can be downloaded from the Internet. For the transaction you need 3 copies. 1 copy to the parties to the transaction, 1 copy for the registration department of the traffic police. The form is executed in writing. Fill out all the columns without errors. The price is indicated twice. The first as the cost of the car, the second as the fact of receipt of money by the seller. The sale and purchase agreement has the legal force of the act of acceptance of the transfer of movable property. In conclusion, selling your car can be a straightforward process if you approach it with the right knowledge and strategy. By researching your vehicle's value, being transparent about its condition, and negotiating confidently, you can ensure that you receive a fair price without compromising your integrity. Remember to prepare all necessary documents and be patient throughout the process. With these tips in mind, you can sell your car successfully and walk away feeling satisfied with your decision. Thank you for watching, and best of luck with your sale.